guys, it's Emily from Novel Novels and welcome to today's video. This is my July wrap up part 1. Now July is not going as well as June by far. I've not got as many 5 stars. I am having a real meh month. Jane Austen July is not doing me any favours this month. I don't know why. I don't know if it's because I've got too many classics on the go or if I've just not picked as right, but I'm just not as happy. I'm hoping the second half of the month will go really well and it'll improve. I'll show you the books I'm currently reading, and some things are going well. It's just not quite as good as last month, but it could be that I'm having a book hangover because last month was so amazing. But let's get started. I'll show you the books I'm currently reading and then we'll go through my ratings. So I'm about 100 pages in on All I Ever Wanted by Lucy Dillon. This wasn't on my TBR, but I needed a contemporary to read in the evenings because my Jenny Colgan book that I want to read, I can't read until I've read my Buddy Read book. So I'm reading this. It's quite good. It's about Caitlin. Her life's a mess. Her marriage to everyone else everyone else thinks is perfect is collapsed, and her self-esteem, and she's just really having a crap time. Her 4-year-old son stopped talking, and she's just really sad. Nancy's Eva, her daughter's Auntie Eva, is recently widowed and feeling alone. So when Eva agrees to help host her niece and nephew once a fortnight, Caitlin and Eva are made to face the different truths of their marriages and about what they really want. So this could get good. It's all right at the moment, but 100 pages it's starting to be good. It's a nice cozy book to read at bedtime, so I'm enjoying it, just not as good as some of the other books. So my buddy reads with lovely Gemma from Read a Book Gem, and I'm about halfway through this. Yes, it turns out I have read it before, but I love it. Love it, love it, love it. This is potentially going to be 5 stars. I've got the whole series. I've already read the second book, and the third book is on my TBR to be read as soon as this is finished, and I love this. I'm currently reading The Brothers Karamazov with Charlie from Charles Heathcote. I'm enjoying this more than I'm enjoying the other book, War and Peace, but it is hard hitting and it is it's not the easiest of reads, but I am enjoying it. Sorry, new haircut, so I'm playing around with it. So I am enjoying that. And then War and Peace, I'm well over nearly halfway through this, and this is all right, and the peace segments I like, but the war bits I'm not really as into, so I don't know how that's going to go. Have to wait and see. So those are the books I'm currently reading. Now let's get on to the books that I've already read. This may be a shorter video than normal because I'm not in the mood. I'm not in the brightest of moods today. Let's just say it's been a stressful morning, and I just could end up screaming. Considering the kids are breaking up next week, the end of term is not going the way it was supposed to go. So, nah, is all I can say. So, my non-fiction book for Jane Austen July, Jane Austen Family Record. I've not rated it because I don't think I can rate it because it's non-fiction and it's not right to rate it. This has got real potential. I did like it. It's interesting. Some bits of it I found more interesting than others, but it is definitely one I'm going to keep for further Jane Austen Julys. It's got loads of letters about Jane Austen, and it's got loads of facts, but I do have to keep referring back to the timelines in it, which is good. I've got a lovely Mia in the background, so she can talk to me in a minute. Then I'm on to my 2-star rating book, which is Ashes of London. This is my TBR jar pick, and it's crap. Not very good, not enjoying it at all, and it's like I'm not enjoying it as much as I wanted to enjoy it. But it's historical fiction. I thought it would be more about the Ashes of London, but it isn't. It's about like a murder and a mystery, and I just didn't grasp it. Flew through it, but I didn't like it. Getting rid of that. That's my getting rid of book. I reread, and now I'm on to my 3.5 star books. I reread How to Stop Time by Matt Haig with Chloe from Chloe Reads Books. She didn't like it at all. She rated it, I think, 2 or 2.5 stars. I rated it 3.5 because the timeline stuff I'm enjoying in it, but I'm not enjoying it in general, I'm afraid. So I didn't enjoy it as much as I had enjoyed it the first time. I think the first time I rated it 4 or 5 stars. This time it was only 3.5. So sorry, that's going to go bye-byes. Timelines are jumping. Oh. Then I read the next in the family in the Barchester Chronicles book, the family parsonage. I found this slower than Dr. Thorne, which I didn't expect. I really enjoyed it at the start, but it just didn't grasp me as much, and there were some bits I liked, some bits I didn't. I like the fact that there are obviously the recurring characters in it. I like Lucy in this. She's a really good, strong character. I really enjoyed her in it. But it didn't enjoy it quite as much as I enjoyed Dr. Thorne, and certainly not as much as I enjoyed the Barchester Towers. So, enjoyed it, just not as much as I wanted to. So that's gonna, I'm gonna keep that actually, that's a keepy, but I'm gonna keep my separate keepy. Then I read Sense and Sensibility for the first time for Jane Austen in July, and I did enjoy that. It was 3.5 stars, but it's at the top end. The only reason it's 3.5 stars is because the first sort of half to third, I think I'd probably put more like realistically the first half, I didn't enjoy as much, and I found it really slow. And I said to my sister Charlie that I didn't think I'd even like this. Then it got good. The second half was really good, but that doesn't mean I can rate it 4 stars, because if I compare it to other Jane Austen books, it isn't as good. I do love the sisters in this. I love Marianne and Eleanor. I love their relationships, but it wasn't quite enough for me. I do think Willoughby is like, oh god, I can't stand him. Like, just some bits of this I really enjoyed, certainly them bit when Marianne was ill and the way Eleanor looked after her, and Eleanor's the sensible one. I really enjoyed that. I really enjoyed the sister relationship, but there was bits in it that I didn't like, so I'm going to keep it, but it's not one I enjoyed as much as I wanted to. Then we're on to, now we're on to our 4-star books. The first 4-star books was this, The Beautiful Cassandra by Jane Austen. This has got like short stories within inside this, and it's alright. I'm now thinking 4 stars is probably too high actually. I think I might knock that down to 3.5. It's alright, short stories, but I don't actually think I'm going to keep this one. Oh no, I will, because it's an Austen. Now I'm on to my 4-star books. So I reread Mansfield Park, and it's still 4 stars. It's not my favourite Jane Austen now. My favourite is obviously Pride and Prejudice. Or I shouldn't have told you that, because I'm ranking my videos, ranking my Austen books later in the month. But I did enjoy this, just not as much as the other books. It was my favourite first time round, but it isn't now. Soon enough you'll find out where it's been placed. I did enjoy reading about the lovely Fanny Price. I thought she was really sweet. A bit of a walkover. I love her relationships with her cousins. I love her relationship with her brother. There were some bits in this I really loved, and others that it was alright. It was 4 stars. It was still a great classic, and I loved it. Flew through it, read it really quickly, but not my favourite anymore. That is a keepy. Then, before I forget, I also listened to an audiobook, At the Water's Edge by Sarah Gruen, which is a historical fiction book. It's by the author of the elephant one, Water for Elephants, and I really booked it up because of that. It was an audiobook, did enjoy it, flew through that as well. Very historical fiction, real baddies in this and real mystery, but it was really good. And Mia's going to come in a minute because she's around today. Then I've got Where the Crow Dogs Sing by Delia Owens. This was 5 stars all the way at the start. Thoroughly loved it. Loved the nature content in this, loved the historical fiction, loved the settings in this. Loved the way it described the way like small town communities can be prejudiced against someone. And then the second bit just took a downhill. I hated the ending. Can't give it away. I'm not going to give spoilers away, but I hated the ending, and that was a bit that made me drop it to 4 stars and has made me want to give this book up, because it's not for me. I didn't enjoy the ending as much as I wanted to. So it was good, just the ending really let it down. Now I'm on to my 4.5 stars. I've got 2 4.5 stars, and these are contemporaries. They didn't just have, it takes a lot for a contemporary to be 5 stars. It takes a hell of a lot. But both of these books are really good. One of them's the book I borrowed from the library, A Taste from Home, which has actually its new book out, and to get it on the library I was really lucky with that. Really did enjoy it. Really loved Heidi Swan's work. It was last one in the Windhurst series. So it does have characters from other books in it, which I was trying to connect, because I've read some in the series. Typical me not reading all the series in order. This is about Fliss Brown, who's grown up living with her mother and the Rossi family in Italy. When her mother dies, Bliss finds out she has a family all of her own. She heads back to England with Nonna Rossby's recipe for cherry and almond tart and a piece of advice. Connect with your family before it's too late. Love the family connections in this. Love the way she connects with her granddad. Love the romance in this. Love the feel-good small community bit. Love the community essence. Love the village life. Really did enjoy this. It was 4.5 stars, but maybe it might go up to 5. It was really good. I loved it. It's a library book, so it's got to go back. Then on to my last 4.5 stars, and this was The Beach Cafe by Lucy Diamond. I'm not going to keep this because it is great, but I want other people to read it because it's about a beach cafe, and the fact that I don't want to keep it was why I didn't rate it as 5 stars. Evie Flynn has always been the black sheep of her family, a dreamer, a drifter, unlike her overachieving elder sisters. She's trying to make a name for herself as an actress, a photographer and a singer, but nothing's worked out. Then when her Aunt Jo dies suddenly in a car crash, she leaves Evie a legacy, a precious beach cafe in Cornwall. I want to go to Cornwall. I want to go to beach cafes. I love this. I love Evie's independent streak. I love the fact that she goes off and does this. She breaks her convention. She doesn't do what her elder sister thinks she should. She doesn't stick with a guy at the start. She goes off and makes her own life. And I really enjoyed that independence. So, did really enjoy that, but that's going. And now I'm on to my 5 stars. And I want you guys to tell me what out of these 4 books you think is going to be my favourite. Let me know in the comments below, and let me know if you get it right. So Mia's going to come in and say hello now. She's going to come in and say hello. So this is the first book that's 5 stars. Mia, you're not in that. There we go. And this was the next in the Boleyn Inheritance series. I'm going to keep this book because it was really good. It was better than the other Boleyn girl in my opinion, because this has got 3 leading characters in it and 3 points of view. So it's got Anne of Cleves, Catherine Howard, and Jane Boleyn. And we don't hear much about Jane Boleyn in the other books because she is the husband of obviously Anne Boleyn, the second wife. She was the wife of Anne Boleyn's brother George, who was a notorious bad boy at the time. Catherine Howard is obviously the 4th queen, and we all know what happened to her. And Anne of Cleves is Catherine Howard is the 5th queen. Anne of Cleves is the 4th queen. Love their points of view. I love the way this is all written. I love the way it ties in the 3 leading ladies' points of view. Really, really enjoyed this book. Loved the ending. Loved it all the way through. This is definitely one of the favourites in the series. So I'm actually going to keep it. That's a keepy book. So then I've got my book that I read for my vlog tour with the lovely guys at Red Door Press. This is a new release out. One Last Question by Mike Patterson. If you like books on older men, they're in their 50s in this book. If you like a bit of fun, like a bit of contemporary book with a bit of mystery and a bit of excitement, you will love this. My review is on Instagram, by the way, because I couldn't find the book on Goodreads, so it's on Instagram. Will, a charismatic, funny, incendiary, Will has died, which means this year's boys' weekend with their old classmate will be as much of a wake as an annual excuse to cut loose. But he has left long-standing friends a parting gift, one last brain melter, a pub quiz used to devise every year and to break up the drinking sessions. It's about the 6 men, their stories, but it's about the 5 remaining men. But then you have an extra character that comes in from outside that, the extra couple of characters that come in from outside their group that make things really interesting and really mix it up. Mia's being naughty in the background. Some secrets are carried to the grave, others don't make it that far. Really thoroughly loved this. Really, really enjoyed it. This is a keepy. Then Wedding Bells of Woolworths, the next in that. I can't tell you much about this book because it's the last in the official series. Although I'm reading the prequel to the series, A Mother Knows, which was Mia's birthday present to me. I'm going to read that in a couple of months to me complete the series. But this is the last official one in the series. So I can't tell you much about it, but it is another fantastic book. Love it all the way. Love the way it puts the characters in this. Love the romance. It made me laugh and cry and everything. And by the way, the One Last Question, it will make you laugh, cry and everything. It'll give you all the emotions listed exactly the same. More crying in this one though, but I thoroughly loved it. Then the last 5 stars is Longborn, which was my best book of Jane Austen July so far. Loved this. Everyone's read it. It's about the servant's point of view from Pride and Prejudice. It's Pride and Prejudice retelling, but on the servant's point of view. And although this is such a long book, it is absolutely friggin' amazing. So yeah, it's about the wash days, it's about the housemaids of Longborn House, but it's also got their sort of boss, Mrs. Hill. She's in this quite a lot. It's also her point of view, and we hear about the Bennets, but we also hear about the Bennets' father a bit, which is quite good in this. So I love this. So guys, let's give you a couple of minutes. Yes, my first half of July is not going great. Let's hope the second half goes well. I've got some books I can mood read very shortly because I've only got a couple of books on my TBR. I've got a book that's sent to me by Tandem to read, which is a historical fiction, and I can't wait to read that. So that will come in soon. So what do you think? Okay, I've changed my mind actually. My favourite book of the month is Longborn. I love this. Loved it, loved it, loved it. I'm going to write that down as my favourite book of the month so far. 5 stars all the way. And if you like Jane Austen, if you like retellings, pick this up. It deserves the best spot. Anyway guys, if you like, what's your best book of the month so far? Let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, give it a thumbs up. If you're new to my channel and not subscribed yet, ring on my ding-a-ling. And I'll see you all soon. Bye bye.
Bye.